30-minute reviews, beware of spoilers, and exploring hyperspace lanes are all available ad-free. But if you want to support the show, you can go to bewareofspoilers.com and click the support button that's available on the Spotify website. Thank you. Good morning and welcome to Beware of Spoilers. I am Adam. On this Monday morning, and I forgot the regime started today, or last night. It wasn't until I was sitting and I was watching, what's it called? I was watching something last night on general television, and I think it was a rerun of Everybody Loves Raymond, and there was an ad for it. It's like starting tonight at 9 p.m. on HBO, and I was like, oh crap, I forgot I wanted to cover that. But we'll do that later in the week. And we will cover the regime. We're going to do that one of our weekly episodes. But regardless, here we are. And one of the things, we're not talking about that, we're talking about Maestro, which is the last movie that was nominated for Best Picture that I have not seen yet. So I've now seen all the Best Picture nominees. I didn't like this movie. This might be my least favorite of the Best Picture nominees. It's not, and the thing is too, it's not bad. It's just not my cup of tea. It is the kind of thing where it's like, I don't know. I feel like it kind of plays like, let me see, how do I best describe it? Like, my issue is mostly just the acting. I really didn't like the way it was acted. It felt like it came from a bygone era, which, like, fine, alright, if you want to go for that stylistically, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Because, like, you want to tell a story where it's like everyone's going to act like they would, like, people in the movies acted in that time. Alright. Whatever, go for it. It just, the dialogue and the delivery of the dialogue felt like, I think the best way to define it is like Clerks if it was played by Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire with the speed of their back and forth, which they have in Clerks, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they don't have that back and forth, but just the flowery dialogue, the exposition kind of ham-handedly given about their backstories for both Leonard and his wife, and it's like, all right, let's just move on. And there's so much going on in this. I'm like, I don't know. I just like I haven't seen a Netflix movie since like The Power of the Dog or Tick Tick Boom. Which Tick Tick Boom, I mean, is the better version of this same kind of movie. Like. And again, it is Bradley Cooper very much wants an Oscar. I don't think there's a man on the planet who wants an Oscar as bad as Bradley Cooper. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And this movie seems tailor-made to get him that Oscar. It's him trying his damnedest to get it. He didn't get it for A Star Is Born. Don't know if he necessarily deserved it for A Star Is Born. But this movie it's him in the lead, giving a very strong, physical performance, physically transforming himself with a lot of makeup several times over, and then getting to what's it called, and then with a fantastic cast. Like, it's a period piece. It's got jumping timelines. It's got a little bit of everything that you would expect from a movie that's going to get nominated for Best Picture, to the point where it's like, all right, I know what you're doing here, and look. You won an Oscar. Great. Good for you. Who can, like, I'm not going to hold that against you. And I'm not going to say that makes the movie worse off because it's very obviously just trying to cater toward that. Like, it's refreshing in a way that's what this is, and he's so kind of open about it. The issue is, I don't think that the rest of the movie is that good or that special to set it apart from even other movies in its kind of subgenre, which is a biopic about a well-known icon, which we get tons of every year. I don't know if this movie sets itself apart from the good ones. I'm not saying it's better than the bad ones. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely better than like what was that other one we just had? Bob Marley. It's probably gonna be better than Back in Black or whatever that movie was, or Back to Black, the Amy Winehouse one. Like it's like of the better ones. Like yeah, this is definitely in that upper tier of the better ones, but. I didn't feel like I was coming out of this any better off for having seen it. Like, and I think that's a fundamental problem with this movie. I mean, if you're going to do this, why bother? Beyond trying to get yourself an Oscar nomination, of course. Why bother? And you know what? I feel like Bradley Cooper has a profound love for the story of Leonard Bernstein. I feel that here. I feel that in his press tour. I feel that this is something that he is passionate about. It's just I just feel that this final result is not great. Like this is one of those bubble movies where it's like if this didn't get nominated for Best Picture, I would not be surprised. I wouldn't have been surprised. Like, it wouldn't have been a big shocker that this didn't get nominated for Best Picture in the same way that, like, if Killers of the Flower Moon didn't get nominated for Best Picture, that would have been a shocker. If Poor Things didn't get nominated for Best Picture, which I think it did, that would have been a shocker. For Maestro to sneak in, it feels very much like, alright, we're here, we're in the conversation with these other great movies, but it's the hell or high water. Where it's like, yeah, it's good it's here, but it's not going to win. It's kind of in the same tier as, like, Barbie, but I think Barbie's a better movie and better crafted. It's kind of in that same kind of little window where it's like, look, we're nominated for Best Picture. We're not seriously in the conversation for winning Best Picture. We're not, I think Best Picture's locked at this point. I mean, it's, we're 6 days out from the Oscars. I think Oppenheimer's going to win that. I think that we're not going to be in a situation where it's like, oh, who is this going to be? In the same way we are kind of for, oh my god, what the fuck? In the same way we kind of are for, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress. Even though I think Best Supporting Actress is kind of locked up too, to an extent, and that's going to be Divine Joy Randolph. I don't think that we're looking at a situation where people are going to be going in, like, it's either going to be Oppenheimer, or I think everything else kind of has an equal chance to be number two, to also win, if not Oppenheimer. Although I think, if I were to pick, probably Poor Things, but I think Oppenheimer's going to end up locking that up. That's one of those easy, no surprise here things. I also don't think that, like, Bradley Cooper was that great. Like, he played this character, and he played this character kind of well, and he brought Leonard to life. But I don't know how well he's actually playing Leonard Bernstein, because I've never seen Leonard Bernstein, I've never seen a clip of Leonard Bernstein. I knew he existed. I knew he had written a lot of really great, really great musicals, and he was a great conductor, and he's up there in the conversation of, like, modern masters, in the same way about John Williams, and I think, 20, 30 years down the line, we're going to put, like, Hans Zimmer in that same conversation. But I knew he was there, but I don't know how well he's playing him, because, again, it's like, I'm watching this, I'm like, it feels like I'm watching, like, Holiday Inn, or, like, Road to Morocco, or something like that, with the back and forth delivery that everyone has, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, just stop, oh my god. Like, everyone talks like no one talks like this. Maybe they did then, but it wasn't a common enough thing in movies where it's like, obviously this is how everyone talked in the 1950s, and it's not like, if I put one of those movies on my grandma, it's like, oh yeah, this is how it was. It's like, no, that, it is what it is. Maestro's probably, like, look, if you have Netflix and you want to watch Maestro, it wouldn't be the worst on the planet. I don't hate it so much that I'm like, this is not worth your time at all. but it's no Mank. Which is, Mank. I mean, but again, Mank is Fincher. It's Fincher doing Fincher at his best. This is not that. This is not that at all. I don't know. I would say this is a movie that, if you have free time, you're like, well, what am I going to watch today? I think Maestro might be one of those things that's kind of there that as an option. But look, the production design's great. When they show him conducting, Bradley Cooper very obviously learned how to conduct for this movie, and he has been vocal about that because, again, he wants this Oscar, so he wants to make it abundantly clear everything he did to do this role. He learned how to conduct, and you can visually see that he learned how to conduct, in the way he does it. It's just, oh my god, the things in between that are just so weirdly acted that it's kind of off-putting. It is what it is, though. We'll wrap up there for today. Tomorrow we'll be doing Naiad, which is another movie that is not nominated for Best Picture, but Jodie Foster, I believe, was nominated for Best Supporting Actress. Wasn't Annette Bening also nominated for Best Actress? I don't remember off the top of my head. We'll be doing Naiad tomorrow. So we'll be doing that. Then we'll do The Regime Wednesday. And then that'll go to Mondays from there on out. Because it comes out on Sunday. So The Regime will be there. And then we will, move on from there. Because then we got the Bad Batch later in the week. As always, if you want to find out what the full schedule is for this and all the other podcasts, you can go to mwpnews.com. The pinned post at the top of the page, when you go on there, is our March podcast schedule. And while you're there, if you want to listen to our Dune Part 2 spoiler cast, it's on this feed as well, but, we also have it there. Dune Part 2 is so good. I think I said it during the spoiler cast. I was like, oh my god. If there's a movie that I'm going to see in theaters a few more times before it leaves theaters, it's probably going to be Dune Part 2, because of the fact that there are so, it's so well made that I'm just, I sat there, the second time I watched it, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is great. It's a great movie where I was like, well, I have nothing to do. What am I going to do today? I don't know. I'll go see Dune Part 2 again. But yeah. I don't think we have a major release this week. Because I really don't want to do Kung Fu Panda 4 because I'd never seen any of the prior ones. And it feels very much like you need to have seen the other ones to get this one. But, we'll see. And then next week, we have Love Lies Bleeding. The movie that's out of Sundance with the Mandalorians. And should have been The Last of Us's Katie O'Brien and Kristen Stewart in I think it's a dark drama action. I don't know. I saw the trailer for it and it looked pretty good. So that's on the list for next week because we need something to see next week. And we got a lot coming up. Cozy Life Simulator. Garden Life, a Cozy Simulator. Friday on the Backlog Files. And then we also have, there's one other movie, one other game this month. Oh, there's two games this month. Princess Peach Showtime at the end of the month, and we're going to be doing a review of Stardew Valley 1.6 on, the week after March 19th. I got to look at the, I got to look at the count. The exact date's up, but it is scheduled in. So, strap in for all of that, and until our next episode, have a great rest of your week.